Hello everyone and welcome back to Chaos Creations, created by Chaos. I am very, very sorry, and it has been a very long time between takes for me. I have had some health issues and some other bits and pieces going on, and I'm now back. And normally I'd keep the table clear, but at the moment I'm doing something that I have been wanting to do for a long time, and that's Mighty Empires. Those that don't know, Mighty Empires is like Risk or Command and Conquer for the table for Warhammer, and it came out in 1990. Now I've got a copy of the rules, and I got an extended copies of the rule. Thank you very much, Daniel, for your copy. And I thought, well, let's just go whole hog and 3D print a whole lot of the tiles. Now, these are for a company called Hexon Hall, I believe it is. And they do some stunning stuff, So we've got stuff that looks like it belongs from Mordor and so forth. This will be Dark Elves, Necropolises, for the undead. And what else we got here? We've got Chaos, so they've got like caves with spines and so forth. And we've got graveyards, and of course we've got elves with their goddamn trees and such. And for, the realm of men, so, quite nice stuff. But the board mostly consists of things like, green fields, swamps, which are down here, like rivers and so forth. So, and also over here, oceans. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm trying to get about 150 tiles by Christmas. Now, the reason for that is I got contacted a while ago by a friend who owed me a few favors and said, look, man, I've got a copy of Mighty Empires here, unopened, still in its box, sealed up. And I've got another version of Mighty Empires, which is opened and has been used, but everything's there. And I under-nerd about it, and I said, look, can I have the unsealed one? He said, look, I've actually just sold that one for, like, I think it was like $2,000 or something. And I'm like, whoa, I'll have the other box. And he's on its way from America being sent free of charge. So I thought, let's just get the real deal, get some really nice, tiles going, so I can have some decent games of Mighty Empires. Now, that said, I used to own a copy of Mighty Empires. I bought it brand spanking new when it came out in 1990. Problem was, though, that I was married, and the lady I was with thought, men shouldn't be playing with little toy soldiers. So she abruptly sold it for a quarter of the price, and then, wondered why I got angry. Thankfully, I'm no longer with that woman anymore, haven't been for a very, very long time. So I'm in the process now of trying to get as much done as possible. So I'm doing all the green, and then I'll do the rivers, then I'll do all the ocean and sea and so forth, and the edges of the coastline, and then I'll start doing some more fancy, like buildings and such. Now, Mighty Empires is not a short game for those who have played it. If you got 4 players, you can be playing that game for like 3 or 4 days. 2 players, it's still like 3 or 4 hours. And the company that does this is Hexon Hall, and what they do is they put like little magnet holes. They've also got these like tabs. So what you can do is you just sort of slip the tabs in there like that, and once it's there, it's pretty much secure, as long as you don't move it too much. But and then if you need to, you just pop it out and away you go. Now, that in itself works really well. My concern is when I've got a massive table of these things and I have to take one out, do I have to go from the edge and take it all out? I don't think I do, but here we go anyway. So the big question I've been asked by some other friends of mine that are interested in how am I destroying the layer lines. Now, if you've watched my videos, getting rid of layer lines isn't too much of a problem. With some of this stuff, however, the more basic it is, the more annoying it is to get rid of the layer lines, because, it's just a big old honking hill. In fact, the worst offender are these ones, which are just plain green tiles and nothing else on them, because the layer lines stick out like crazy and there's no easy way to get around it. So once again, if you watch my previous videos, what you do is you put a coat on of like a neutral color, like tan, or maybe even a cream color, or even like an Ogren camo, like that one there. So you put that over the top, and that's nothing else except for going to help you hide the layer lines. Okay, so that's all it's there for. And then I undercoat it in black, and then I dry brush it in white. That gets rid of about 80% of your layer lines. And then you put your paint on top, and then you put a bit of highlighting on and so forth. And by the end of it, most of your layer lines have disappeared. Now, with these in particular, I mean, you're printing at some ridiculous scale. So, I mean, something like that at 0.1 on an FDM printer takes about, I think it's about 3 hours. And I was thinking, I thought, well, if I can print this at 0.2, I can go faster and still have a reasonably good detail. Only one slight problem, I can only paint so fast. So if it takes the time and I get more detail from a 0.1 print, then I'd rather that, and gives me time to catch up on painting so I can get done. So what I'm doing is I'm printing now, and I'm painting today, and then I'll be printing more and then painting tomorrow. So hopefully by the end of when I stop printing, I will have a small amount, not a huge amount, of stuff to paint, because I don't want burnout. That's the one thing you do not want in this Warhammer world. And I am a person that has been prone to burnout before, so I've got to make sure. Now, the last video, I think, was me showing you the dragon that I got from a gentleman on the East Coast. That is still over there. You can see the red outline there. I haven't gotten to it, mostly because there has been a huge gaping void of Warhammer, the old world, in my city, which is Perth, Western Australia. The main point I'm finding is the fact that everyone's waiting for the next race. Everyone's played the dwarves, played the undead, played the chaos. They want the next race to come out, so everyone's pausing until that one come out, which I think will be Empire. Actually, no, I think it might be Elves, because we've got Empire and 2 elves left. I think it is High Elves and Wood Elves, maybe. So they might want to put an elf out, then an Empire out, then another elf, instead of having 2 elves. I don't know. But there's been a bit of a lull of late. So, and that's fine, don't get me wrong. People just want to play. But Mighty Empires is just something different. A lot of people never have heard about it. I took one of these this morning to a gaming shop, and I asked about renting out a table for like an entire day and so forth, so we can play it and such. And they were like, yeah, fine. And people were like, what the hell is that? And I said, it's a Warhammer game. They're like, no Warhammer game like that's ever existed. And I'm like, yes, it did. So it'll be interesting. I don't think I'm going to get too many people playing. I've got some other friends that are thinking about doing this with Warmaster. So doing normal diplomacy and so forth, backstabbing and minor skirmishes. But when it comes to big battles, stopping the game, going off to a table and having a game of Warmaster, using the miniatures to fight across the battlefield and so forth, resolve it, and then come back to this, and then continue on. And that's great, as long as you've got a place where you can set up 2 tables for an extended period of time. Let's face it, the only way this is going to work is either on weekends or when people have a lot of time on their hands. Now, it is coming up for Christmas, so I am hoping if I can get this all finished by Christmas, and the tokens and the little bits and pieces arrive in the box set by Christmas, hopefully, I can have a game over the Christmas break. That's the plan anyway. But before we get there, I'm going to make sure my tiles are painted. So that's what I'm doing over the next couple of weeks. Now, before I forget, one other thing I want to show you. There are a couple of things, but I'm going to do that in smaller little short videos and such. I've been using this for a while. Now, this is a massager gun. And what I've done is I have 3D printed like a little thing for the top for me to put paints in and shake them up and make sure that they're nice. You've got those ones that like the little vibrator dome thing and such. This thing I've had for ages, and this took about an hour to print out. And I've also got one for the Villaggio/Vallejo paints, however you want to interpret it. So here we have Mournfang Brown. Now this brown has been sitting in the bottom of a drawer for just over a year. Oh shit, oh, we're starting it up. My bad, excuse me for a second. All right, so it's been sitting in a drawer for about a year. And now I've put a little metallic ball in it, and let's see if we can open it up. Yeah, it's not looking particularly good. It's looking pretty dry and gooey at the bottom there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a little dropper of water, and I'm just going to squirt a bit in there. Not a lot, just one full squirt of the dropper. And it's got, like I said, it's got a ball bearing in there, and I just want to see now. Some of these will work perfectly fine, some of these won't, but it's a fantastic way. Now, all you do is pop it in there. Now, it's like a reciprocal saw. It'll just go back, forward. But since it has a ball bearing in there, it should just help maneuver it about. Now, it's whisper quiet. Right, so let's see how we do. Look at that, nice and creamy and gooey in there. I don't know if you can see, but yeah, that's all nice. You can hear the ball bearing rolling around in there, the water. Yeah, nice and gooey and painty, the way it should be. And I'm finding that with all these old paints. I've got paints that I'm finding in drawers, finding in tubs here, there, and everywhere. And they're like, really hardcore. This one I did this morning. This is a debris. So it was like sand with goo in it. And it was mostly hardened down the bottom. I popped in 3 droppers full. And I popped it in the machine for about 30, maybe 40 seconds. And now it's perfectly fine. And we're back to normal consistency. So if you have an old massager, you can find these files on yegi.com. I just put in hand massager paint shaker, and they were in like the first 5 or 6, I think it was. And yes, it works really well. If you have any questions, just ask. Now, there were other things I got from that gentleman on the East Coast that had the pawnbrokers. I picked up this, which is beautiful, and this is all, once again, perfect. Everything that's in there is in the box, and there's the instructions for it. Unfortunately, like I said, Old World has sort of died down a lot of late. I don't know if it's a Christmas thing. I think it's because they're waiting for the new race. But anyway, normally people that I speak to going, yeah, Warhammer Old World, going, well, let's just, play a bit of Magic or something. Let's just do this. Nature of the beast, really. So what I'll do is I'll, get Mighty Empires going for a while. And, if it doesn't play, it's great. If it does play, it's great. And if it doesn't play, realistically speaking, this is all quite small. It'll fit in a small box, and I can just put it away until it's needed. I can even put this More Than Mighty in the Mighty Empires box once it arrives. Fingers crossed before Christmas. Okay, this is Hexon Hall. I'll put a link for Hexon's stuff down below. Now, understand the detail is phenomenal. It is amazing, but you do pay for it. There are a couple of free files if you want to give it a bit of a test, and he has lots of like single tiles going for $1. But what he does do, and I do like it, is the fact that you can buy, like, let's say, all the standard pieces. So it's all the basic bits and pieces, a couple of castles, a couple of land swamps. I think it's like 150 tiles, and it'll cost you like $70 American USD. But that gives you like, I think it's like 130, 140 files or something. So, it works out to be quite good. And then he has one which is just all the coastline, and that's like, $10. And all the river system, that's another $10. So it can add up. But yeah, the quality is phenomenal. And it comes in several different versions. It can come with ones with these tabs. You can get ones without tabs, so it's just magnets. And I did think about that for a while there, but I suck with magnets. I so badly suck with magnets. I just thought, no, I can't do it. No magnets. No way. Because knowing my luck, I'd put them all around the wrong way and it'll be bouncing off each other. And I have been there before with something else. So I have, tried and true method of my own stupidity. And he also has these for resin. So this is FDM. This is called PLA+. But you can get it with resin ones as well if you want to. I've done some of these in resins initially, and they are stunning. But that said, the FDM versions are just as good. The only difference is there are some slight layer lines, and that's it. And the one thing I love about FDM, it's pretty much indestructible. You know, you can, I wouldn't use it as a frisbee, but if it bounced off a wall, the only thing that would snap would be these high tower bits. Everything else would be fine. You know, you might get a slight dent because FDM is made to last. And that's the one thing I keep telling people over and over again. Resin, beautiful, fantastic, high quality details. But if you're like me that wants to pick up 10,000 points of undead and just go pop it in a box, I'll sort it out later on, let's get out of here, we've been playing a game for 12 hours, you can do that with FDM. You can't do that with resin because things would snap off. Not easily, but they do snap off. Anyway, I have been ranting enough. Please, any questions, just ask. Please like this video and subscribe to it. Mighty Empires will hopefully be done by Christmas. I'll do a video or two of games being played, hopefully. Hopefully my friends don't chicken out and go off and go, oh, look, the Empire book's out, let's play that, woohoo! But it's the nature of the beast. People are fickle, I get that. Anyway, this is Chaos signing off. And remember, love the game, whatever it is. Love life. Chaos out.